Precy, I'll have you and do the intro. Come on.
Yeah, I'll take it over. I think the only other time I did this was probably episode 2, I want to say. But, I mean, it can't be that difficult, right? If the other guy can do it, I think anyone else can do it.
Jonathan, you ain't shit.
So, welcome back, guys. This is another episode of RoundHaus. You know, a little bit of a stutter there. You know who we are. This is episode... what episode is this?
11.
Round 11. Wow, that's right.
Can't even keep track of his own show.
It's crazy how time moves by when you're not paying attention sometimes.
Yeah.
So we got right here in the studio, the main man, the myth, the legend, Christian.
Christian.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm actually pretty tired today.
Yeah. Today is actually a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day, and I feel like I'm not matching the energy for how beautiful it is. Internally, I feel like it's Twilight Town, like just all dark and dim, but just energy-wise. But then outside, I'm like, it's so beautiful. This would be the day I would, like, go to the park.
Yeah, you definitely need something to happen today. Like, I don't know, like, all of a sudden you get superpowers. Like, boom, lightning bolt on a clear day.
You know what? This would be the origin story of any like superhero. It's like a perfect day, and then bam, tragedy, and this is what happened. Deadpool pick it up like gets kidnapped or some bullshit, or Batman his parents get killed.
Okay, do you think name a superhero that's obtained, meta human abilities that has not come out of a tragic story? I don't know many.
Oh, that is actually... It's...
And I'm not to say that I'm very versatile on all the superhero mythos, but...
Might be Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle?
I think because... Only reason is right now, I'll probably look up his origin story. I don't think he had a tragedy that gave him his powers. I think he just stumbled onto it. Do you remember the show Guyver? So I think it was like that. Like technically there was no tragedy. He just discovered that armor. So what Guyver is, if people here don't know it, it's an old anime from Japan, where essentially his high schooler found a box that looked weird. He just touched it, and it became an bionic suit of armor over him. So no tragedy, but essentially he just got a suit of armor. Bam. That's how his superhero origin is. Like, oh no, dad died during this thing. I mean, the rest of the show was tragic, but technically how he became that wasn't tragic. So I think Blue Beetle, to my knowledge, just discovered an alien suit. Same thing.
Okay. Just now?
Not now, but like when in his origin story, just like he found it this week. It's on Twitter. No, I think that's his story. He just found it, and he's been kind of like hiding the fact that he has an alien like talking to him, trying to kill stuff. But I think that's a story. So, not a tragedy as like Batman's parents died, or Uncle Ben.
And like I said, I don't really know too many. Like I know superheroes, right? But then there's this whole background on everyone, and that's where it starts to go down a rabbit hole. And I've never really like seen or read every comic book out there, and because I've read some, they're amazing. The last one I read, it was Planet Hulk actually.
Oh, that was a good series.
But I saw when he came back, the Hulk.
Oh, World War Hulk.
World War Hulk. Yep.
I always hard time saying that.
That was the last one that I've actually, and I bought that one. When I went to Disney World then, and it was so long ago.
Yeah.
But I bought it. I read it on the flight back. Didn't even notice the flight.
I was like, dude, that's a book that would probably I'd get lost into. So it's been a while since I watched this channel. I'm still subscribed to it. They're called Comic Storian.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
I think I told people about them for years because I remember being a fan of theirs when they only had 500 subscribers, because I thought this is such a good idea. What they do essentially, they take comic book series that have already been out and they like narrate it. Essentially, kind of just one person usually does it, but it's pretty cool because it puts you in the story. Perfect like a podcast or an audiobook. You can just like put it on play, and you can hear some pretty cool comic book movie or stories that if you don't have the time or buy comics, you'll totally miss. So World War Hulk was one of his first ones that I caught, and man, was that story epic.
Yes.
Hulk was a beast. I knew he was badass from the movies, obviously, 'cause like, okay, he's dope, but Nothing to that level. Like in that story, it put me to like he might destroy Goku because I still was under the conception that Goku could like destroy everything at that point.
World War, yeah, definitely. He was definitely more powerful.
Oh yeah. That was when I was still on like Dragon Ball Z's hype.
The man took a step, and the entire I don't know, coast from it was it all California in the stories that like it broke apart.
Goku can destroy a planet, but the fact that he took down Sentry, that essentially their Superman.
I think that's an awesome character, by the way.
Yeah, and I think he could have kept getting stronger. They just had to he had to collectively calm down. It was a good one. That was a good story. There's a lot of good comic books out there lately. I've been watching that comic story channel a bit. I caught there's a comic What If of Ninja Turtles where it's called The Last Ronin. It's a limited run. Think of it like an HBO show where it's only got one season. That's the story. So this one, it's a comic of The Last Ronin. There's only one Ninja Turtle left, but he doesn't have a color on.
Yes. Oh wait. Let me guess. I'm gonna guess who it is.
Okay. Because that was the first issue's mystery because you don't know who it is until the end.
Do you know who it is?
Oh yeah, I know the whole. I know about.
Leonardo. Sorry, no. Michelangelo. Is it Michelangelo?
I just realized. So people who want to read that book just kind of know I'm about to spoil who that is.
Is it all of them?
That's all. Yes, fusion. Yes, 3, 2, 1. Yes, it's Michelangelo. I don't know how. I know it was only 5 chapters, but it was essentially Michelangelo being. He almost seemed like Raphael as far as pessimistic and dark. They lost. They're in think of future Trunks in Dragon Ball Z, that type of world where it's fucked, nothing good going on there. It almost actually kind of reminds me of that story now, but yeah, he was the last survivor. Everyone else died years ago.
I kind of knew already. To be fair, I saw something of it and of him, and I just took a wild guess, and I was right. From the sounds of it, it does seem like everything went upside down.
It's a cool story.
Yeah,
it's a cool story. If you ever catch that comic story, and I think it has a whole video just to summarize it. It's really cool because then it incorporates some neat what ifs to the even Shredder. There's a Batman Beyond version of Shredder on there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's what I said. By the time the final chapter is and I read it, it's very short, and I think it's a real good, cool story. So I'm I always kind of find that's kind of funny how I haven't really ever purchased comic books, but I know so much about them thanks to channels like that, and there's some dope ass, real cool stories out there. If there's ever people oh, I'm so sick of superhero stories or movies, they're all the same. Well, check out some of these comics because they add some real deep layers to basic stuff.
Random question.
Go ahead.
If you were a superhero or you had superpowers in general, I guess I should say, would you wear a cape? Ooh,
it depends on what my powers were. Spider-Man.
You wouldn't want it if you just run.
No. Dude, I'm just imagining a cape.
Or if you just swim. I mean, maybe actually doesn't the King of Atlantis wear a cape?
No, he's never worn a cape. He's never No, he's never really worn a cape to my knowledge. No.
Okay.
He had a scarf in Justice League, I think.
So you don't know.
No, I think I'd see if I was Batman type, something like that, where it'd be beneficial for.
Now this cape could do or be whatever you want.
If it's strange, if the cape was magic, sure. But if it's just a cape for aesthetics and looks, I won't lie. Internally, my head, I'd say hell yes, but then I'm thinking as far as efficiency, probably not.
Okay. You remember The Incredibles?
That goes in my head right now. Exactly why I'm you know what? She had a point. No. I was dude, what if I'm about to I gotta chase this guy. I walk through the door and it closes really quickly and he fucking grabs my cape. So just for a split second I get choked. And I'm
yeah, I mean,
precious seconds.
I mean, okay, yeah. I see that.
It depends on my superpower. What if I'm Superman and I just break the door? So I'm yeah, it don't matter.
Would you have something in between?
What the fuck? Just have a cape.
Maybe a cape that reaches only down to your mid back, so everyone can still see your underwear.
Always hated those comic book characters that I ever saw that had like a mid cape where they just like reveals their ass.
What?
It like stops.
I was just kidding. That's real.
I think I've seen a comic book character or two, like whatever side Marvel, old school. Like sometimes I've seen them, but I always hated that design because I'm like, get the full cape or get nothing. It's like there's no middle.
No cape.
No cape. I would get, if anything, like Batman Beyond wings.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like retractable ones.
Yeah, see that.
Like Buzz Lightyear, dude. I just saw Toy Story all the way through from the first episode to the very last. Not
movies?
Lightyear. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I watched it with my son, and Buzz Lightyear. I'm very happy. I thought he was better. He's so cool. Such
Buzz
a cool toy.
Buzz Lightyear the toy is cool. I heard the movie didn't do too hot. I don't know if it's just because of the lesbian scene, but I wonder if that's actually a decent plot.
I think.
I don't know. I hope it's a good movie because it looked kind of. I like the idea of a movie made about Buzz as a toy, like that inspired the toy.
You know what I don't understand? What happened to Tim Allen?
Oh, I think it's just because that's the voice of the toy, and so if anything in this world, they're like, all right, well, the toy was inspired by a movie, so this is the movie. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe.
But Tim Allen's voice is through all of the Buzz Lightyear toys.
Look, you have a right point. You're
right. So, okay, I'm not to
I would have watched it.
Not to discredit Chris Evans at all. You know, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. You know, I can't judge it.
Same.
But Tim Allen, I would have thought maybe would have been at least considered. Maybe he was. But Tim Allen is Buzz Lightyear. The voice of Buzz Lightyear is Tim Allen. And you will recognize it anywhere, you know? It might have been... I thought when I first heard about it, I was like, cool, you know? Buzz Lightyear, my favorite toy. I bought a foot-long 12, and then I know, get your mind out of the gutters.
I thought a Subway when you said foot-long. That was the I was like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, wait, why am I going to Foods? Okay, go on.
Buzz Lightyear toy. It was one leg in the movie. You had the buttons, you know, all this stuff.
I had the same toy. I think your mom bought it, and then I had bugged my mom because I really wanted it. Did it have like the button where you could push it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had the same toy. It was a good toy.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, I think it was like the popular toy that year because the movie kind of came out and that was like the go-to Christmas. Like
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the one I have is getting. I mean it's almost 10 years old. I want to say.
But I remember that toy was the shit. I loved it. That toy was, and they had I think a couple fingers that could bend, just a couple of them, and I always liked that.
You might have had a different one.
No. Well, I mean it's Toy Story, so they always made a bunch. They always kept remaking it anyways. Like every year there's a new.
You know, I think Woody was a cool design too for a character. You know.
True. He wasn't the one I wanted for Christmas.
No, and the way Toy Story was going, I had a bias. I must admit, I wanted Buzz Lightyear. I wanted more of Buzz Lightyear, and
that was more. Yeah.
He did the kicks and the flips and the gliding or falling with style. You know, so.
Yeah, I won't lie, but when in my childhood, I was less cowboy and more like sci-fi space stuff. You can blame Star Wars which actually still existed around that time, but I think a cowboys thing in toy history now is associated with like people who grew up in the 50s, 60s. I think really old school television because they were very popular.
If you remember in Toy Story 2, Woody's show.
Yeah. I think that was
Woody's Roundup.
Yep.
And it's basically like one of those shows that had puppets and like you know it's.
That was old school. Yeah. That's why it was different era.
Obviously, it was 3D animation, you know, for the movie itself, but it was portraying a time. Yep.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Man, imagine what it would have been like if we were just like growing up in that time. Like just what would you view as, all right, what'd you do? I didn't do much today, but not doing much back then, what did that mean?
That's, I don't know.
It's crazy, right?
I don't know.
I wish there was like you ever see those old like TV shows when you were a kid? Was it Magic School Bus where she would go like, oh, we wonder what it's like to be a digestive system, or what's it like to...
Yes, there was an episode, dude. Funny you mentioned that. There was an episode of the Magic School Bus where they went in, I think they went in on the pages of a book. I think the book was about baseball or something like that, and they had the pictures, and they were so tiny that they were actually in the depicted images.
Yeah.
It was and then when she just did she kidnap
I mean, it was always field trips, so technically it was never considered kidnapping. So
Yeah, I mean,
I bet you the parents wouldn't have agreed to sign it. Yeah, let's sometimes put my kid inside of another kid who's sick and has a cold to study what a cold does to the body.
it definitely got me more interested in it, man.
That's true, but I was only interested in watching TV and not reading a book, to be fair. So I can't really say I picked up too many lessons after the episode was done. But I meant, like, that'd be still cool if you could, like, oh, what was that other show on Cartoon Network? Do you remember Time Squad? Or
Yes, the buff guy.
Yeah, the buff guy, and then the robot who was Mark Hamill. I think it was.
I remember there being a robot. You know, that show was such a good show, but I don't remember it much. Like, I would watch it.
It only had like one season, I think.
Yeah, it got canceled.
Yeah, it was. Oh, and they had the kid who was I think they just kind of kidnapped. See, you're talking about kidnapped. I think they actually kidnapped that kid. But,
they probably did.
Mark Hamill was the Joker, or the robot, and I was like, no way. But I always loved the big ass guy. He's always like getting fucked up, I think. But
you think that show is that Warner Brothers Plus?
That's Cartoon Network. HBO Max. Ooh, it's definitely probably on HBO Max. I don't have it anymore, so you can check. But
HBO Max?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have
it. Because Cartoon Network, I think, is a property of Warner Brothers.
Right.
So, and I think that was on there. Man, Cartoon Network used to be my go-to. Like, that was the channel I wanted. Anytime my dad was ever trying to subscribe to something for like Dish or
you always will look out for certain channels.
Always asked him for like just that one. We didn't always get it.
Daddy,
like,
please.
Oh yeah, it was definitely lots of that. I was like, "Pa, please." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "This one has Univision."
It did, dude.
I was like, "I don't care about novelas." And like, tienen caricaturas ahí. They have cartoons on there. I was like, "No, they don't." And it's always when I'm at school. So what does it matter?
I would do the same thing, to be honest with you. Again, had no control. Just hope for the best.
You could.
So it was, and I didn't have it all the time.
Yeah.
I remember I used to go like years without watching Cartoon Network. I think having cable like that. We had basic cable.
Yep.
And that was cool too. I mean, there were some cool shows. You know, I saw Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I saw Scrubs. You know, I saw a lot of cool stuff there too. But when I finally when we were finally subscribed to cable, you know, it was like, okay, back where we left off.
I was like, I didn't realize I was living like a peasant before.
And there was better cartoons too. They were still making good cartoons.
Yep, definitely were. Oh man, I remember the days of like when cartoon or like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory. Yes. What other was at the time?
What was the show? I think there were foxes or coyotes. It was partners. They drove a jet, like a fighter jet.
Are you talking about cats? It was like they look like
by day they're like mechanics.
Yeah, that was cats. Those are cats. I think they were called like Mad Cats or something like that. They
were like superheroes.
They look like Mario Brothers, kind of essentially with cats. Like they had a beefy guy, and then they had a slankier version, and then they got I think that I could be wrong, but it was like that's a cult classic. People love.
Not a lot of people know about that one.
I think that was a '90s that was such a '90s cartoon because in the '90s, and it makes sense now that I think about it, it was very dark. Like productions of movies and stuff, because Spawn came out in the '90s.
Oh,
they were really that was a theme.
That's funny. I just actually watched that one. Yeah, I watched it in bits and I now watch movies in pieces. Like when I got a second, if I got 10 minutes, I'll try to watch some more of it. But I watched that one the other day. Funny you mentioned that.
I'm trying to see Jet Cats cartoon. I'm trying to think of. Oh, I think it's called SWAT Cats. Here, let me see. Yeah, Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was called
SWAT
Cats.
What it is.
Yeah, dude, it aired the year I was born, 93. It was September 11th, 1993.
It was old, you know?
Yeah, it was
and I think I started seeing it when I was 9 years old.
I never saw it. It never showed up on whenever I was watching TV, I never actually saw it, but I think I'd seen trailers for it.
Yeah.
But because, there was no select this YouTube video, option.
No, different times, man.
I was like, if you didn't catch it, you didn't.
You're out of luck.
I remember, what is it, that quote that Ross says in Friends? I was like, no, I grew up with Monica. If you didn't eat fast, you didn't eat.
Yes.
That was another thing I grew up with when I was a kid because we didn't have internet, didn't have like YouTube, none of that cool stuff. But for some reason, my sisters kept getting a hold of the Friends seasons.
Yeah.
I don't like some of them saved up. Like, oh, you guys, I got season 1. Oh, but they only had season 4. I guess we're only watching 2 seasons.
We have that show in the background a lot of the times now. It's I understand that it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, just like how The Office is not for everyone. You know, stuff like. But that one is so. You know, it's
a gem.
Those writers, man, they were made of something. They were made of something different back then, huh?
But if you watch it and you like it, it's a gem. It's a gem.
So we watched it. I think we just watched the episode. Oh my god. Okay, so we saw the episode where Joey got a role. Have you seen
a role?
Yeah, a role in a movie.
Oh, I was like, a role of what? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it's right here.
Have you watched the series before?
Oh, dude, I knew it all by heart at one point before I had it.
Okay, so like it's not even important to remember it, but like it's the one where you know, in this role he's gonna have full frontal nudity. And he's like cool with it. And then they inform him that the character, it was during a certain period of time, and in that time men did not have.
Oh, that's right. He had to get circum.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a circumcision thing, so they had to put on prosthetics.
So Monica was helping him out, and that is a true friend. You know, she helped create.
Didn't she get like turkey?
Yeah. I think he said the turkey.
Oh my god, I remember. And then the fucking thing fell off during the audition. They're like, well, that's never happened.
My favorite character is Joey.
Yeah,
hands down. After him, I think it's Phoebe. Phoebe's awesome.
She's my least favorite.
Oh, dude.
She annoys me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, either people love her or they hate her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the hate. I hate her.
That's how I feel about Chandler.
I love him.
Yeah, see?
I fucking love Chandler. Oh, I still love when he fucking hit himself with the file cabinet, and that was an accident.
He's funny as hell, but his character, I'm like, okay.
His sarcastic humor inspired me for like when I was in high school. God, was I so sarcastic because I was like on a Friends binge.
Yeah, dude, it's okay. So yeah, and then Ross always drops a banger.
Ross was like the most unfortunate, like hilarious guy. Like he had the most.
Yeah, you know, and then you had the rest of the characters, but you know, Monica and Rachel. And to be fair, guys, like it's they all are perfect in their own little way.
Clearly, we loved Friends. Let's sum her up. We loved Friends. It's a good show. The new version of it, which is essentially How I Met Your Mother. So that's like the new generation of that.
I like how you just took control. You were like, cut.
Well, it's because I've realized, like, dude, we're deep in love with Friends. Like, I actually haven't seen the HBO when they came back, but I've been meaning to. But yeah, that show was great. It was great.
All right, maybe we'll come back to that one at a later time.
But I did want to ask you something. How was your Father's Day?
It was great.
Because this is your first one.
Yes, it was.
That's why I realized, I'm like,
yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah, I was like, I was remembering, like, there's something important I have to ask you before this. Because I'm like, we did this last time. Where I'm like, 5 minutes left.
Yeah, it was my first one. It was awesome. Nicole, she had asked me well in advance, what do I want?
Daddy, what you want to do? I can imagine her doing that as a joke in the morning.
She was like, hey there, big guy.
She was like, hey there, Dad. A baby right here needs
True story, guys. So, no, but like she asked me, like, what do I want to do? And I was like, honestly, babe, I kind of want to just be with you guys, you know, like hang out. That was my ideal one, you know. Fuck you.
You make me sick.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. That's cool. That's cool, man.
It was solid, and we went to go see her father as well, and you know, it was a good time. It was a really good time for my first one, and many more to come.
I know, that's cool. That's kind of I realized. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, before Damien did, you guys celebrate Father's Day just like because you're pet owners? Because that's what I keep getting. Mm-hmm. I keep getting that too. I'm like, I don't ever celebrate it, but I'm at this point I don't tell people to stop.
You know, I don't remember now. Now that you ask, I don't remember that.
People always tell me, I was like, oh, Happy Father's Day. I'm like, what do you mean?
If anything, we've had people tell, and I should say, you know, Nicole's been the one who's really like.
Yeah. If anything, Happy Mother's Day.
It'd be, you know, but okay, but yeah, people. If anything, people have told us that like that. And we're like, oh, okay, thank you.
To me, I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I don't take it away, but I think it's a matter of person. Like to me, I don't personally think I should celebrate it. But I mean, they are my fur babies. But I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna. I won't go the extra.
Oh, I think they call it Gotcha Day. They tell their pets Happy Gotcha Day.
Oh, the one I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Shit. I don't think I remember when I got Sonya. I know her birthday.
She kind of just appeared in the night. She's like, shh.
She's like, you will be feeding.
She's like, look into my eyes. This is my house now.
I was like, I have peed on one area of your house. That means this is now up for grabs.
She's like, I see you like to chew. How would you like to chew? On my fist.
Fucking Sonya.
Where's that from?
Kung Fu Panda, bro.
Yes, sir.
I heard they are making a new. Are they making a new movie? I heard something about Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Something either show or a movie.
And I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it.
If it's a movie, I'll watch it for sure.
I think it has Jack Black in it still. You know, I would hope so.
If it's a Netflix one with Jack Black, I'll be a little hesitant because I'm like, sometimes those guys just say yes to a paycheck. I feel.
Oh yeah, dude. They got a base. They made it. To be honest, they can spit out a lot of content, and like it all won't be good. A lot of it will be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But people will still watch it.
It just gives you options, if anything, which is great. I mean,
that's what The Rock does.
Huh?
That's what The Rock kind of does, doesn't he?
What do you mean?
In a way, well, he's in so many movies, right?
Yeah.
But he has a base that follows him, you know. So
he's essentially himself in every movie. But
yeah,
he does a lot. So,
yeah, I mean, he's a busy man. I think he's the highest paid Hollywood actor. You know, it seems like it seems like he hasn't made it.
You know what? I remember the last person they officially said that was Robert Downey Jr., but obviously that was at the prime of the MCU. So it's been a hot minute. I just haven't heard anybody say who is the highest paid actor lately. Not to say you're wrong.
He was the last one I heard of.
I could see it being him because you're right. He was he was a workaholic. And his studio.
And he had shows, I think, too.
I heard he did Ballers. I think that was a show he was doing.
Never seen it.
I've
never seen it.
I think I heard he was doing a show, but then I was thinking, when does he have the time? I saw him in This Fast and Furious.
Okay? Question. What was the first movie you've seen him in? And to be fair, I used to follow him back in WWF.
The Mummy 2.
Yes.
He was a Scorpion King, bro. And then I love the Scorpion King spin-off movie.
That movie though, the Scorpion King, because you first saw him in The Mummy.
Yeah,
as the Scorpion King.
He was a CG character.
No. He was there in the beginning.
Oh, you're right. He was. I mean, that's what sucks because
that was like an oh my god moment. He made the transition finally. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Yep, dude. I was at your house watching wrestling. Remember? I would think it was your house when they had the famous Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock.
That was one of the craziest battles.
That was the crazy one. I think you guys were the only one who would pay for the pay-per-view, and I would always want to go over there.
You know, dude, the WWE, I don't watch it now, and I stopped.
It's still interesting.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the last week. There's a girl on there who I follow. She's my new kind of WWE crush. She's a big ass Australian.
Wow.
I was just checking in on it, and somebody posted a tweet or a GIF, and I was like, who is this person? I just got intrigued because I was also out of it, but I looked her up and I was like, oh, I'm in love because she's muscular as hell, and if you ever look her up, RHEA Irie or something, she's dope. But I am interested in the world that they tell now, the story plot line. I'm like, it's like a novella or
dude, it's always been like that.
I didn't realize that. I was a kid. I was thinking, oh. He's so mad at you, Undertaker. Yeah. He's gonna get you.
Yeah, to be honest with you, dude, I think for the longest when I was watching it, my brother watcher got me into it, and I think Bobby was into it too. Yes.
Yeah, it was your family. It was always your family.
I don't know if anyone else was, to be fair.
I never hung out with Chito that much.
But I started watching it, I think when I was 10-ish.
Yeah.
10 years old or so, maybe a little bit older. And I watched it all, and I saw one of the craziest things was when the WCW versus them. The WWF at the time it was called.
WW2. I was just going based on the Nintendo games you guys kept getting.
And the games.
Yeah, those games.
The games,
so
yes.
dope.
N64. Okay, and I don't play them all. I think the last wrestling game I played that was other than for the N64 was for the PlayStation 2. It was a Brock Lesnar, Here Comes the Pain, or whatever. It was whatever it was titled. my favorite wrestler was Brock Lesnar in that one. But going back to the one for the N64, you can literally do whatever you wanted, and like, you know, no holds bar. You know, you create your own character. You put people through. You put any, like, I think you can put even like the managers that are in the sideline, or I don't remember, but.
I remember always getting mad and wanting to play it at your house, but not wanting to play it because...
I was pretty good, man.
Yeah, do you recall me being such a crybaby about you? I was like, okay,
I was pretty good.
I would remember...
I could not beat my brother, though.
No, I heard that, but you were that for me. And I remember wanting to play it, but not wanting to play with you because you would always destroy me. And I had to go like, no, we have to be on the same team because I hated losing at that point. But
oh yeah, dude.
You used to beat my ass. Sting was my favorite character, and it's because
so that's WCW, and that was another one. That was another game. Yes, that game was also fun.
Yeah,
Sting was my. Yep.
They were always the same. You could just grab me, and I didn't know how to like fight your grabs. I was like, "Fucking Precy, stop it!" Because then you'd throw me corner.
Okay, speaking of video games, have you seen? All right, what game? The game Power Stone, was that for the Sega Dreamcast?
Power Stone was Sega Dreamcast. Oh, that was I always associate that with Jonathan for me.
Yeah,
because Jonathan was the only one I knew at the time that had a Sega Dreamcast.
Cheeto showed me that one.
Yeah, Cheeto did have
it. And I was just like, what is this game? I think you had one of the main dude. I thought he was the main dude, but I think he goes into some sort of gold form.
Yeah,
and
he was red. He was a red pilot.
Yeah,
and then you collect the Power Stone, and he goes to like a gold pilot. So Super Saiyan. Yes. He goes Super Saiyan, which is why everyone picked him. All of us would always pick him because we always would go like Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I go Super Saiyan with anything that resembles Super Saiyan now.
Exactly, that's when I was like Sonic, Super Saiyan. It's a thing. If you grew up in the '90s, you most likely one of your favorite anime was Dragon Ball Z. You might have loved it, or you either loved it.
Power Stone, you know.
Do you remember Bloody Roar? Did you ever play that one?
It sounds familiar.
I think it wasn't that popular, but it was kind of like Power Stone.
Okay.
It was. I remember playing it with Abi more so. So I don't know if Jonathan or Cheeto had it, but it was a fighting game. It looked a lot like Tekken, so not arena like Power Stone was, but you would turn into an animal instead.
What was it called? One more time, sorry.
Damn it, Bloody Roar. Bloody Roar. I remember there was a character. He was a cool tech kid who turned into a penguin that I loved to be because he was so annoying.
Bloody War.
Roar, like lion's roar. Yeah, roar.
Do the roar.
Roar. Roar. I'll do Iris's roar.
Huh, okay, I'm looking at it right now. You know what?
It wasn't that super popular, but I remember playing it a couple times.
I think so, man.
I feel like that was like the popular Sega Dreamcast game as well at the time. That was another one that
I remember more of the female characters. I think
I only played the penguin guy.
And there's a cyborg looking dude. Mm-hmm. I think I used to pick him up.
This was like a Tekken game for the longest time, and I was like, oh, it's not Tekken? Oh, okay. Remember Dead or Alive?
Oh yeah, that's another one that Cheeto showed me.
Dude, yeah, the first time I ever got introduced to it was when the Xbox, the first one came out, and we were at Abi's house.
I think we talked about this in the previous podcast.
Yeah, we did. I just don't know who bought it. I think it was Chava or Wache or somebody, and we just took turns around the house and playing Dead or Alive 3.
I think it was actually Ugo or Tony.
Yeah, it would make sense because it was at Abi's house.
Yep.
Why were we all there? I think it was just a hangout they were having in the backyard. We'd always had barbecues.
Oh yeah, the family would get together.
Yeah, we'd get out a lot during those times. So, and then one of the older cousins who had money and working at the time, just had an Xbox, so we all kept playing. Dude, that was a good day. We were just playing.
When we saw it, I was like, okay, you bastard.
I hated the controls immediately because it was when they had those
big old... Well, it's because you had little hands, man.
Yeah, I was a kid. I think I was like 9.
Can you hold a burger properly?
What was it? It came out in 2005. So I would have been... I'm 1993, so I would have been, 12? I would have been 12. So yeah, I was like...
Practically a full-grown man.
Still my body that then, damn it. Fuck you guys. But yeah, I remember liking that one.
Just
I would
kidding.
spam Jen Lee's. He had that one.
Yes.
That elbow, and that was broken.
Yes. That dude. And then the graphics. I've never seen anything like them before. Yup. You know, they were like, whoa, look at him sweat. Whoa, look at him flex.
Again, they were playing like...
Oh, yeah. And then like, wow, look at their hair. It's all wavy. And like, look at... To be fair, I was more blown away by the background. You know, it was if you ever paid attention to them, and it's easy to get lost when you play those types of video games, because you're just more focused on the fight and winning. You might pay attention to the backside, but you won't most of the time.
No.
But that's what I liked as well, because there was one where you're kind of in, I think you're in a forest and it's snowing and like there's a little river below you, you're fighting on it.
They had variations of that one. Oh, they had that was a snow one, and they had one where they had like I think the petals, the Japanese petals you always see. Damn it, what is those cherry blossom petals?
Yes.
It was that same level, and they would always just like autumn leaves too. I remember that level. One thing I did love about Dead or Alive that was not new to the franchise, but it was amazing to me because I'd never seen it. Because the first time we played it was 3 stage transitions. You remember when
dude, yes.
That was what blew me away, and that's what I was like. In 3, they had that mythical like tower thing where if you knocked him off, there is no way you would have survived a drop from like another pillar. But we kept having fun, all of us just going back to back. Just dropping each other from one island to the other.
Okay, my favorite character, I don't know her name. She was the girl who had the karate white suit on.
Hitomi.
She was so badass.
Yeah,
she charged up her punch, and I think she did like Superman punches, and like that's why I fell in love with her. You know, and I was like, when I would try to do it with her, but to be fair, I think. Who would you say was like the OP character in that one? Like, I feel like Hayate was that.
Hayate was a beast. He was very flexible, but he also had power. Ryu Hayabusa was a favorite, but he was also like super technique sensitive. You had to be really good with like his that one. You have to hit really really hard, just like you're actually. You had to be really technique sensitive with Ryu because remember how he did that like Inuza drop where you throw him in the air and then you grab him and do that. Oh, they did in like Naruto, or that guy grabs him.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Right. He's known for this move.
Yeah. So doing that in that game was such a bitch to do. You like combo, and like half circle.
You know, I never relied on any combos.
Yeah, we were always.
I was always but like you knew some.
Gently. I think he was the most overpowered because he was strong and you could button mash him. That's why. That's the only reason why.
Yup, he'd do his mega punch real quick too. He was very easy to use too.
Yeah, you could just like YYYX or something. Yeah, he was the more overpowered one because again, he also didn't even need to be that far away, and he's the one who had the running dragon kick. Like if you ran, he would do that launching kick at you.
Yeah.
And that shit was overpowered if you didn't know how to like dodge. Zack, I remember Zack and love Zack. His soccer kicks.
Zack.
The only black character.
Yes, that's right. Zack. Hey. Okay, yeah, speaking of DOA, I know we're going into many transitions. Have you seen the DOA movie?
Yes.
Yeah? Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it.
I liked it.
It's one of those good bad movies.
Mm-hmm.
It
reminds me of Mortal Kombat. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Yes. And you know what? Did you recognize Liu Kang was in there from Mortal Kombat?
Was he?
He was one of the pirates on the ship that tried to hijack the yacht.
No. Yeah. Completely over my head.
It looked like him when I first saw it. I was like,
what are you trying to say?
No, I meant like I saw him. I was doing the eye gesture to him. Not like you and I look like him. Fucking. Yeah, so I saw him and I was like, hey, is that Liu Kang? He just looked like an older, skinnier version of himself. And I was like, no way. You know what's funny? I rewatched it lately. Have you ever seen the show My Friend Earl? Old.
I know what you're talking about.
So, a character in the movie, she's kind of the mean bitch in the show. I think My Name's Earl is like the girl who dumps him right away.
Yeah.
She plays Tina in the Dead or Alive movie. And I didn't recognize her until I saw it again, and her accent was.
Wait, is that the assassin?
No. Tina was the actress who was the wrestler too.
Oh, okay, the wrestler.
Her dad was Bass or Bass. Remember the big guy?
Yeah, the biker dude. Yup. Okay.
This is the nerd. This is the reminiscing nerd podcast.
Hey, that's what happens in the Christian Precy story time hour.
Journey of our youth. Here.
You know, just take a seat.
Take a seat. This is the learning.
Oh man, this was a great week.
Yeah.
Did you have a good week?
I had a productive week. I think it was a good productive week. I think I could have done more, but overall, it wasn't one of the bad ones for me. How about you?
For me, it was good. I think work went really well, I felt. And then after that, it was all pretty smooth. Yeah. I just came back from a small little getaway. I went camping and.
Oh, nice. When did you go? When did you start?
So it was Friday when I left, and I left from work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good time. So my week has actually been going pretty good, and tomorrow, it's Monday.
Mark starts. Sounds like you had a good time. That's good. So I have a new. This week I get to work from home, but tomorrow I got to go to work anyways.
Bummer. Oh, I feel bad for you. Oh my god. Poor baby.
Humble. I'm about to say it's about to piss you off even more because next week, they give us the week off. Paid for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why they love the 4th of July.
Why would you think that pisses me off? Good for you, cousin. I only want the best for you.
He's flipping me off. I'm just kidding. No. But so I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh, it's just awesome kind of timing. So next week I get to work from home, and then the next week I get to just be off. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to be productive. That's all. I'm looking forward to that. Got some stuff. I've been playing a lot of VR lately, actually. Dude, it's fucking awesome.
All right, man. Okay, where's your stance now on VR?
So my stance doesn't change on the fact that do I think it's a good let's replace reality with it? No. I think it's like it's like playing soccer with friends, a hobby you enjoy. I think it's a very fun investment of time if you want to. And from my experience, I have played really cool immersive single player video games just to kind of get like a real idea of like where gaming is. I love games, so really want to see how can it make me feel more immersed, because you play a video game, you're already simulating yourself being this badass ninja like in Dead or Alive.
And now that you've played which one is this one again?
This is the Quest 2. So this is the meta. So I already have a Facebook account, and to be fair, they already have all my data, so I don't care.
Okay, the information has been long gone before
I even got this.
Maybe before anyone even noticed, it was like, hey, what's going on?
It's true, but the main reason is because this item from them served multiple purposes that just were. It made sense. Like best bang for my buck as far as budget, because a much better version of a VR headset is $1,000. $1,000 flat out.
Okay.
I can get it and run it on my computer. It's just $1,000. But this Quest 2, which is only $300, is wireless on its own, but can also plug into the computer and be used for those games too. So thus not needing a $1,000 headset.
Yeah, have you ever read or watched the movie Ready Player One?
Oh, bro, yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just asking a random question,
Yeah, have you seen the I saw videos of people trying to simulate the treadmill. Have you seen those like virtual treadmills on there?
I've seen those way back before too. I'm sure they've been working on that for a while. But is it out?
Yeah, I just saw some videos. I'm not gonna get it, but I'll tell you what I saw.
Yeah.
For about maybe under $2,000, you can get a cool treadmill that you can stand on. It locks you, and honestly could carry our weight. Because some guy who was testing it, he showed his first days of it. He busted his shit. And he got caught. Like, he was stuck in Superman pose. It was like a baby being caught in his diaper or something. Like, he was like... So he had the headset on. He was like, oh, shit. Because essentially what it happens is you just have slippery shoes. They give you custom shoes, so...
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool because it showed it like, oh, so it's not just like immediately, like, I'll easily get it. But it is pretty cool how it spins you. He said he did try a game like Skyrim, where it lets you actually move, and it registered it. He was like, dude, playing those shitty old graphic games again, but this time you actually feel the stepping. Like, you see a hill in a video game, you're used to just pushing up on the joystick. Yeah. Now you have to put in the physical, like, it just adds a unique layer where it's like, dude, that's fucking sweet. So in my head, I'm thinking, you know how people get lost in reading a book? Like, they just get lost in that.
I know plenty of people like that, yeah.
Yeah, or a podcast or a movie where they just forget everything else. They're just deep into that. Mm-hmm. So as far as for people who enjoy VR, I think that's really cool. Like a way to kind of like play a narrative virtually, like really feel it in a certain other aspect. So that's for me personally. I'm not thinking of the business meta, let's have a conference meeting here, John. Or I see that is good, but that's not me. But I think that's also a good idea.
And to be fair, I didn't ask you how you felt about the business portion of the meta. This is what you will see, what you would actually log in, spend some time for.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe you'll probably run into, hey, you have a conference meeting, log in. Maybe once or twice. If I had to guess.
If you started your own business, let me ask you, and they had asked you, do you would like to invite you to a meta conference for a business, say whatever you're going to do. Maybe you're going to contract work, landscaping, or whatever business idea, but you're meeting a potential client, and they would like to meet virtually. Would you do that?
Oh, geez.
Just like, hey, we don't have to meet up at an office. We don't meet.
It's hard. It's hard to even think that.
Real
You know how you ask, can you imagine what it was like living back then? So you're like, I don't know.
It's tough, but all right.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean,
your clients in like Florida.
I guess.
Yeah, right. I mean, just say you can like say Nicole too. Because she has a business. It doesn't make sense so much for because she does barber stuff, but like say she again already has her own business, but she wants to meet clients in different states to like just potentially meet up with or talk to, even phone interviews.
I think
it's a weird idea, but I'm wondering if it.
So okay, well, for that specifically, and geez, I don't know what the technology is called, but businesses are going about now is hiring instead of, I believe, calling a potential employee, they text message. Because it shows that people are more inclined to reply to a text message than answering the phone and like having to talk to a person, live. A lot of things can go through their mind, blah, blah, blah. But when they see a text message, you might feel, well, I can like sit on this one for a bit and think about it, and then I'll reply or whatever. So that's what businesses are doing now. I haven't come across it yet, to be honest with you. You know what? That's a lie. I actually have, but that's kind of like, sorry, I've done both, I don't know one that just does text messages.
Yeah, I mean, I think mine was a hiring agency that was like trying to find me a job. They were texting me. So I don't think that counts too much as opposed to an actual employer.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one I had seen messages for. But it would be interesting, say, a temp agency, say the meta, the future, where it's almost everyone has like a Nintendo Switch at this point in every household. Imagine the meta also is like a thing. Businesses like think of I know a couple people on the south side who have their own businesses, and I've seen them on the meta because it's on my Facebook friends. So there's some childhood people who I knew who actually have a Quest headset. It says that they have it, and I'm wondering, what if they met clients for themselves like that? Like they wanted to do virtual meetings. Like, again, it would just add a unique you don't have to rent an office. And you're a business, or you're a small business yourself. I'm like, I wonder how that would be in those sort of applications.
I think you can do it right now. I'm not entirely sure.
You can, absolutely. It's just
what I was gonna say is that like in the meta, you can look into, real estate. I'm throwing quotation marks, up in the air. That you can rent, to whatever.
Yeah, you rent, say, a room, like, hey, for this hour, it cost me maybe, like, I don't know, hopefully not too much because that wouldn't make sense, but, like, say, for $5, you can get an hour, and then you can meet a client and here. And
you can build your rep,
Yeah, that'd be kind of, I think that'd be actually a pretty cool idea in the future if they refine it a bit more. I mean, just in case of, like, say, people want to move from state to state. So, say you wanted to move to Texas or Florida, California, and you just wanted to find a job firsthand and say that job is like, hey, we have this cool thing where we can do a virtual meeting if that's okay with you, so we can just kind of like get a little idea. It's a weird immersion, but that way they can kind of also see you virtually and also just get the like sort of phone interview. But it'd be kind of cool to see them like, all right, we like you, bam, now you got a job, so you go there and now you just work in person.
I just feel like we skipped over holograms. It ain't nothing. Right. I'm like, well, what happened to holograms?
You're right, dude. We skipped that. Honestly, they still do have like AR. We brought this up in the podcast too, but yeah, they dropped that too. AR is when they like you have glasses and you kind of like see the holographic type stuff.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like actual projected. Like kind of like how you saw what I think about, I think the movie Civil War, Captain America, where they're at Shield, and the main bad guy, he's talking to all the higher up, the big wigs in the committees and all that stuff. They were holograms.
Oh yeah, and Winter Soldier, they were like those. Yeah, you're right. They did.
Winter Soldier, yes, that's what it was called.
You're right. They did have Star Wars hologram.
Star Wars, exactly.
Yeah, but that was Star Wars, so that was always. But when they brought it to Marvel,
so I wish there was like, because the metaverse is going to be very huge, right? Like, are you supposed to like look around and see a lot?
Yeah, dude, I can have you try a headset just to see how it is. Again, just to get a feel. Like, you don't have to do anything. They just like put you in a room where you can like just see stuff. I recently got a game where I can interact with, like, they put a lot of details into just grabbing a cup. So grabbing a cup with this hand and grabbing it specifically at this angle, it was pretty neat. And I was like, I threw it in the air and I actually caught it. Yeah. And the control vibrated when I got it in my hand. So it gave you that little bit, just a little smidgen of immersion. And the funny thing is, it was in a cool narrative world where there's a machine, I guess, apocalypse kind of thing. I'm outside on a rooftop. A giant thing shows up like right here, really tall, kind of. Think, what was that Tom Cruise movie? The alien one where.
War of Worlds.
Yeah. So remember those like tall leg monsters?
Yep.
So there's something like that in this game.
Tripods. Yep.
Yeah. So its leg at one point, I wasn't looking, like slammed hard on the surface next to me, and I fucking jumped because I didn't see it. I was like, oh shit. So I was like, that kind of immersion. I was like, oh, that was sick. That was dope. Like that, it was dope to just actually like feel this narrative, this game again, or this kind of weird. Holy shit, I'm just in here. And then pause the game if it gets too much, and then, all right, back to reality. But that,
neat. Of all this that we've talked about, video games from the past, the meta or technology, even the past, what we talked about with Woody. I would be interested, I think, if there was an opportunity to collect every single favorite game from my entire life that I've always loved from multiple consoles in one location.
That would be sick. That'd be pretty cool. Xbox is pretty good about doing at least all of theirs from one console. If you had the new Xbox
I know they do.
I think that's the best bang for your buck personally, because again, from the first Xbox all the way to the end, that's amazing.
All the games that we've just talked about now, though,
the majority of them, because we grew up in the Xbox age most.
I would like to play the WWF, WCW, all those games again.
That would be sick. Nintendo doesn't do much with their N64 games. Like, they don't find a ways to bring them back, and it's unfortunate.
Nintendo was always hard for me to like they had me at the GameCube. Like, I was like, yes, this is gem. Yes, it was. And after that, I did not like the Wii because everyone loved it. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And then I feel like they've only added on top of the Wii ever since. But the Switch, I understand.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Switch, I think, would appeal to you personally.
But I don't know.
I think that actually would be a perfect console for you because I don't see you having too much time to sit down on the couch and like play. Like, it'd be kind of good to maybe you have a 5 minutes here, just want to take a break, load up, pull the console out, just play it like a whole full-fledged game. Think of a PSP if you ever had one.
Yep, I know. And I think is it still difficult to find them?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, but to be fair, I haven't needed to buy one, so I was like, yeah.
No, I don't think.
But I mean, it's not like you should get one now. But I mean, like, if you were to get a new console of all choice, I think a Switch would do good for you. Because you usually seem like you're not really playing on your TV.
Right now, I should. I would like to get one.
A Switch or an Xbox? Would you get a Switch or an Xbox?
I'd probably get a Switch. An Xbox to me now it's a box. I use it for streaming.
So you would use a Nintendo Switch a bit more?
Yeah.
It's also cool because then you could play a lot of cool party games, like with Nicole and Damien when he gets older too, like Mario Party. You guys would have a fun time doing that. They're coming a soccer game. I don't know if you've known that there's a Mario soccer game that's out.
Oh, nice. So I was about to say that I should go back to the Wii, the first Wii.
Yeah.
I actually do like one game. The Michael Jackson Experience.
No way. That is... That is so random. I remember that game, but they had a bunch of dancing games on there. So why?
I like the music, and I've always wanted to learn how to moonwalk. I didn't learn it there. I didn't learn it there.
Should I go be buying this game right now?
No, but I grew up listening to a lot of his music, and
yeah, dude, Michael Jackson's the best.
Michael Jackson, and like everything that's been said and whatever. Like I don't care. I get
drama?
it.
Yeah.
I don't care too much for the drama. It's the music that
the artist from the artist.
Yes,
the art from the artist.
Just because I like a character in a movie does not mean that I like the actor.
Yeah. No, but Michael Jackson's music was. I can work out to it, and I can also just like relax to it.
Billie Jean.
Oh, yes. There's a funny joke.
Of course, right? That's what everyone would say.
There's a funny joke with me and my brother-in-law, because years ago I was helping him like do some chores or some errands he needed to do. So he took me to Domino's, and we were waiting for our pizza, and we were just playing a bunch of Michael Jackson at that point. I mistook a song and started like dancing. I don't know why. And so I did Thriller. I was like, wait a minute, that's not what that's supposed to be. I was like, but I did that in like the Domino's. So
yeah, that sounds like a good version too, man.
That's why I laughed, because I really went like hard into that. And then every now and then he's like, oh yeah, Mr. Thriller. They never let me let that one down. And I was like, fuck, that's one of those immortal stories where I'm like, fuck, it was beat it. But no, Michael Jackson, he's the best.
What's your go-to song right now for to get you motivated to work out?
You know what? That's a good one.
Okay. What's your? I hate using the term PR. I don't know. I don't use personal record.
Oh, okay.
When you're about to PR, is when you're gonna go for something. It's actually not a bad term. I'm just hating.
I was trying to think about. I was like, where was bad about that? Okay. Give me an example of yours so I can maybe get a better understanding.
When I lift, I like to lift heavy, and of course, I need inspiration to not hurt myself.
Yeah, what's the song that drowns?
So obviously it varies for me right now. I've been listening to the song from Deftones.
Change?
No, that's a good song. That's a good song.
That's been my kind of somewhat recent.
Elite.
Elite?
Yeah, I believe it's called that one. They go pretty hard on that one, and yeah, it's a good one.
I'm not a big Deftones guy like you guys. I kind of miss that, but you were the one who got me into Change. Well, it was actually in one of the Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yes.
So that's what got me. Yeah, it was cooler. Yeah, it was cooler. Which so good. It still blows my mind that actually happened. Anyways,
I watched you change.
Dude, I've been jamming and playing games to that. So I got my racing wheel out, and I was definitely listening to Change.
Yeah.
While I was playing Forza, like really racing. I was like,
okay.
But yeah, Change is a good one.
Song, real quick. That song, the length of it is perfect.
Yep, agreed.
It's perfectly long.
It's like Yeah, it's a perfect song. It's not too long. It's just perfect. It's a good one.
But yes, that's the song that I.
So that's your current pump.
It used to be ASAP Rocky. I forgot what it was. Dude, I was just. I guess I should just say I just.
Yeah, let me look at my.
I listen to whatever.
What's been getting me, to go, and this one actually it's a unique one, because it's a.
Is it by you?
No, fuck no. I can't.
Piano?
Shut the fuck up. Hell no, I can't. You know what? I would still love to learn a piano. That would be like the instrument I would definitely... The piano and the guitar, before I die, I want to have at least amateur like skill set with both. Would you like
to see a random piano in the subway and be able to walk to it and just play it?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so sick if I could just
at
be
the
like...
mall.
Yep. And honestly, I just like... After I do that, I would have my hoodie up and then walk away fast, because I'm like, yep, if either somebody looked at me and like, trash, or they were like, yeah, I don't know, I don't want that attention, but I do like the idea.
What you should do when you do that, what you should do is then start to play with one hand, right? And then like all of a sudden, just put both hands in the air and just act all cool, and then the music's still going.
That would be so, bro. That would be so fucking hilarious. See, that I wouldn't, but that'd be so fucking hilarious. All right, so back to my song of Pump right now. There's a weird one. I don't know why.
Pump it.
It's just because of how catchy it is. It's called "Pretty Lies" by Yoza. It's a weird one because then right after I discovered it, back to back, there's another song called like "World War Me" by King Izo. I don't know. It was on my random Discover This Week playlist.
Yeah.
And those are just not the ones I listened to back to back, but those are two I discovered in that same week. So now when I kind of play that one song and I forget to change the next one, that other one is also like, damn. It's just like a complimenting one another to like not let my energy drown or like die down. Like you say you got that song that got you there. You have like a workout playlist where you can kind of like, okay, all these songs will help me keep that pump up.
Mm-hmm.
Though those two right now for me have been my go-to. Like I can probably run on the treadmill for a little bit, and then or this one I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put a little extra heavy.
I was just talking to Nicole about running, how because I used to run a lot too myself. I don't anymore. I hate it, to be honest with you.
Same. It's bad for your knees.
But you get a different high.
Yeah.
Then actually when you go to the gym and you just lift weights and you get a good pump, you know, it's a runner's high. You get it.
That's what I got addicted to that.
What was the first word you said?
Addicted.
Oh, at least I thought you said something else.
Oh, I got addicted to it.
I got addicted. Whoa! What are you talking about, man? This isn't that type of show.
It's after 12. It's that type of show. No, but yeah, the runner's high, that is addictive, dude. I used to smoke a lot before working out because then it would help me get there sooner, and it was bad. 80% sprint for 20 minutes straight was my best record.
Yeah, dude.
And after that, I really wrecked my legs because I couldn't walk. But, duh. But once you got to the runner's high, I fucking felt like my legs weren't even like moving. It was crazy.
Fly like an eagle.
So yeah, because you never did cardio really.
I did when I was in high school.
Yes,
I played.
But you never did it like marathon. You were doing it for soccer.
No, I tried actually running in track and field, and I did sprints because I thought I'd be good at it, and I was okay. And then I did distance because I felt like I was not better at doing that than sprints, but I was just like, I feel like I can contribute something at least to that team. I couldn't really contribute too much to sprints.
I just want to feel useful to somebody. I just want to be
And then I found out that I hated that too because we'd run every day and that's what I didn't like running after that, to be honest with you. But that was just my own to be fair, that did not like sway me from running after that. It was the meets.
Running like that.
It was the actual events, the meets.
Oh yeah, they sucked.
Oh, it was
stay there forever.
It was brutal if you had to wait. Yeah. But you know, obviously people do that. It wasn't for me. And then I just never really liked running after that.
And I never walked and ran anywhere.
I like biking though.
Oh yeah, biking's the shit. But I wouldn't do that like as a profession.
We did a lot of that when we just went right now this past weekend, and it was perfect roads, nice level. There were some hills, you know, but
biking's the shit.
There was a couple of times where we all raced, you know. It made me feel young again.
Dude, right?
I was like, yes, my hip.
I was like, quick, we gotta go now. I only have this before my hip gives out again.
Yeah, we had a race. I mean, I won, but they might tell you something else.
I was like, I don't want to brag, but I won. But yeah, man, that's pretty cool. That's one thing I do like. I don't like running on the treadmill too much now. I just do the elliptical, or now I'm gonna try to do the stairs. But yeah, as far as cardio, the runner's high, I miss it, but then I also don't miss the pain that came with it when I kept doing it.
Yep.
And it would also, if I usually did that, I was doing too much cardio as opposed to weightlifting, and so my muscle deteriorated more. And people who know about weightlifting will probably understand this, but I wanted to get more muscle, then lose everything. So that's where I'm like, but the only way to motivate myself at the time was that high, the runner's high. It was just like, that was addictive, man. Just because it was like, you felt you had energy for days because obviously you can do the stamina, and then
at the time you didn't know better, you know. It's just like it was still fun.
That's gotta be if you want to do that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a lifestyle. It's just, but now when I realize what it was doing to me, and it's now a choice that I choose not to do that anymore. Because I also like to not have leg pains when I'm older. Because at this point, sometimes I've heard my knee snap when I go down too far, like the cupboard, and I was like, my knee. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna maybe start running as much, but I do like the idea of running a few times a week. like a little jog here and then, like 10 minutes of, if anything, intermittent, kind of somewhat cardio, even 5. I think is perfect because that way it's
maybe one day consider investing in a stationary bike, a cheap one you can find in case you can't make it to the gym.
Yep. That bike actually would be perfect because I've been wanting a bike actually for a hot fucking minute, so I probably should look into that. I
don't think you'd find it like unless you want to buy like like the Peloton ones and like
something like that. Sounds like an idea, like a good idea because I wouldn't mind like putting on headphones and losing like 45 minutes to just.
Do you know what the Peloton one is?
Yeah, it's the one where it's got like a bigger screen on it, right? Yeah, I kind of like the idea of it, but that would be an investment because it's like $1,500, right?
I think it's more than that, dude.
Yeah, I
think that might be 2,000 or so.
Okay, so I mean, it might be an investment.
I don't know. I would suggest you look it up.
Yeah, I'll just go outside, get a winter bike, and make it more of a challenge.
Just run in place.
I'm just gonna build a pathway in my backyard.
Oh, you know what? Just go on your VR, picture whatever, and just run in place.
Bro, there's a VR game that my nephew and I been playing. It's called
here we go, VR again.
Mirror's Edge. It's like Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, dude, the game.
And it was really cheap, but the amount of movement to jump, you actually to run fast, you have to swing your arms, like you were actually jogging. And to jump, you have to like swing your arms up and hold a button.
If I can say something about VAR, then like I do find it interesting that people who will probably play it.
Yeah.
I would think that they come out maybe fitter, physically.
Sometimes it depends because honestly, there's a lot of VR games that don't require as much movement. So as you would assume,
it
depends on the eating habit. You know that it's the eating habit, so it's kind of hard. I think that's personal.
Well, I mean, as far as like energy levels goes, just some sort of movement. I don't know. It's more than just sitting on the couch and playing with your thumbs. Like
you are burning more.
I would assume like well maybe at least they're getting some sort of a workout routine going.
True. It is true. So as far as say it's a person who doesn't like going to the gym, I do think it's at least a healthier alternative.
They might do it not even knowing.
Exactly. And that's sometimes the whole point. Some people like to watch movies on the treadmill, just so they're distracted from the fact that they're on the damn treadmill and they don't want to be there, or elliptical. I've seen people like read books somehow while on
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
My vision would not be able to narrow on those little, like it would have to.
I'd have to go up and down with my head.
I was like, I'd need like a spring for my book to go with me, because I'm like, how would you? To me, I'm like, that's ultra instinct to me. That's
It's kind of like reading a book upside down, like those ninjas do.
Or Beethoven didn't he like do a piano with one arm from the hack or something?
Oh jeez.
That was like I remember that being like a.
Nowadays, you see people like flexing on camera where they just hold on to a bar and they're like, okay, I'm just gonna read this book, showing abs. And I'm like, okay. I guess people are doing that now.
Yeah. Oh man, the world's something different, but all right. I think that's actually been a pretty good talk. The Precy and Christian hour, actually.
It was
That's productive. It was a.
I came back actually. I missed the last podcast, and I was like, we're gonna podcast today, and I think it was a good idea because we've come out with some pretty good content. I feel.
I mean, I hope we enjoyed.
I enjoyed. I don't know if people will, but
you know what? This is how I always said it when I decided to make a podcast again. I want to make something I enjoy listening to, because if I don't want to hear it, I don't want anyone else to either.
Yeah.
Because if they like it, they like it. But I'm really making this for something I personally listen to, and I hope everyone who's been here, Rigi, Chito, and all them, they're all doing it for the same reason. Something we like. Because then somebody else might like it, and then other people won't. And I'm like, you know what? That's perfect. The internet is a huge place. I hope you find your spot in it, because this is ours. And now we're on Spotify, so it's pretty cool. Let's see how that keeps up.
Yeah, it's we keep going.
We're at 11. Next week's 12. Can you believe it?
Every episode will be a new episode to us.
Okay, this logic is here. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for tuning in on episode 11 of the RoundHaus podcast. This is your host, Christian and Precy. And everyone else definitely would have loved to be here, but next time. And we'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe.
Later.